Hello and welcome to the video, and today we're going to be doing an updated tier list of all the weapons in the finals. If you guys find this video helpful, make sure to drop a like on it as well as a sub to the channel. It'd help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. About 99% of you guys are not currently subbed, which is a crazy number, so I'm trying to get that down. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. So I'm going to try to go over these quickly as to not make the video 30 minutes long. But first up, we have the pistol. This is the light pistol. I think it's the V9S or something. It's a solid weapon. I'm probably going to put it in the B tier. I'm also going to be ranking these in order to the best of my ability. So that means if I put this here, that means that it is worse than the pistol, even though they're both in B tier. But next up, we have the M11. The M11 is solid. It did just get the recent buffs that made it able to be controlled a little bit better. The damage is pretty good. The mag size is very forgiving. Overall, it's a solid weapon. I don't think it's anything crazy. Putting it in the top of it's going to be probably towards the top of the B tier. We then have the sniper. I don't think the sniper is that good. You can get some value with it. It's actually really fun to use as well. But overall, there's just a lot better options. We then have the MP5 or the XP54, and this is the best weapon on light. I don't think it's an S tier. I don't think there's really many weapons in S tier, but it's definitely very close to S tier in my opinion. We then have the dagger. The dagger is probably the worst weapon in the game. No reason to use it. We have the LH1. I think the LH1 is very good. It has good damage. I think the only problem is the recoil control. But if you can get good with the recoil control and just the fact that the gun jumps all over the place, this weapon is amazing. I still stand by the fact that if they put a red dot on it, it would be the best weapon in the game. We then have the shotgun. Shotgun got nerfed, but it's still one taps lights. Still two taps mediums. It's still very strong when paired with invis. So overall, it's always going to be up here. It's just a strong weapon overall. We then have the sword. I think the sword is pretty solid. It's probably better than the sniper, honestly, if you can use it right. It's the best, maybe second best melee weapon in the game. It's probably one of the only melee weapons you can get away with using, and it's pretty fun to use. We then have the throwing knives. Throwing knives suck. No reason to use them. We then have the AK. The AK has a lot of ammo. I'm not sure if I want to put it at the bottom of the A tier or the top of the B tier, but I think I'm going to put it at the bottom of the A tier. That's where we're going to have it because it has so much ammo. It's pretty easy to control. The damage is decent, and it's overall just like a really good weapon. Next up, we have the revolver. I don't think the revolver is that good. I used it, and it just seemed like bad overall. And I know if you're hitting headshots, you can do quite a bit of damage, but in order to do a lot of damage on this weapon, you have to be very consistent. And so I'm gonna put it at the top of the C tier. I think maybe it can go in the bottom of the B tier, but overall, this is where I'm gonna put it. We then have the grenade launcher. I actually think the grenade launcher is like kind of good. It just got buffed, and it does a decent amount of damage. But I just don't see a world where I can put this in the B tier, so I'm going to put it at the top of the C tier. I think it's better than all these weapons. Surprisingly, I actually do think it's better than the revolver. I think it's not bad. Then we have the SCAR, or the FCAR, and this isn't a surprise to anyone. This is probably going to be the only S tier weapon in the game. It is incredibly strong. It has to be in a tier of its own because it's easily the best weapon in the game, and the only changes I might make would put this here, but the MP5 is still like nothing close to the SCAR, so for that reason, it's just got to be a tier above everything else. We then have the shotgun. I'm not sure whether I want to put this above or below the revolver. I think I'm hating on the revolver probably a little bit too much at this point, but I think the shotgun is probably a little bit better than the revolver. You can two-tap people pretty easily with it, and it has a deceiving amount of range. I think the shotgun is not like terrible. We then have the riot shield. It's terrible. I don't use it. We have the whatever this is called. I forget the name of it. I used it and I thought it was decent. This is probably a decent spot for it. It's tough to say because obviously heavy weapons are going to do less damage on average than like these weapons, but you know, all things considered, I think that it is a decent weapon for heavy, but definitely not one of the best. We then have the sledgehammer. Sledgehammer is going bottom of the C tier. Maybe better than the sniper. I could see you getting more value with a sledgehammer than a sniper. Yeah. And then we have the flamethrower. Flamethrower is kind of mid. It has like no range. It does decent damage, but like the amount of times that I kill a flamethrower player versus how many times they kill me has to be like 25 to 1. So there's just no way that you can consider this a good weapon, but it's not terrible. It does do decent damage, and if you play correctly with it and play around your shields, you can maybe get some value from it, but it's probably not better than these, honestly. We then have the Lewis. Lewis is probably the one of the best weapons for heavy, and I'm not entirely sure where I want to put it. I'm probably going to put it right here. I think it's better than the pistol and the LH1. I actually think the LH1 is better than the pistol. And actually, I think I am going to put this at the bottom of the A tier. And I know like this does like probably like twice as much damage as the Lewis, but that's really not what we're talking about here. We're talking about in comparison to the classes, because obviously, you know, heavy has 200 more health than light, so of course the light weapons are going to do more damage, but I think overall the this is like a better weapon. Even though it's quite difficult to control, it does decent damage, has a lot of bullets in a mag, and it's probably Heavy's best weapon. We then have the grenade launcher. This thing sucks. Honestly, I didn't rank anything in the D tier because it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know why you would use any of these. You know what? We'll rank them. That seems about right. This thing sucks. Don't use that. Then we have the shotgun. Shotgun it got nerfed, and I didn't think it would fall this hard, but it did. It's probably like here. This is probably a good tier list. I like this. Okay, so I think this is the final tier list. I did swap these two around just because I feel like the Lewis is probably a little bit better than the AK for its class, of course. And I moved the LH1 over here because I feel like if you can get good with the LH1, I think it's amazing. And I know that it's probably the same thing for the M11, but the M11 has like no range at all, and this has all the range you would ever need. That's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you drop that like. Also, if you'd switch anything around, make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you feel like I absolutely botched this tier list, make sure to let me know in the comments as well. But at the end of the day, this is just my opinion, so if you guys enjoyed, drop that like. But that's pretty much it for me today, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.